The amount of excitement I'm having is just unreal during this series, and with so much support, I'm always excited when I record them. All right, so we're back on the 3-5 point, and I've got 4 wins on this account so far, which is not really that much. Yeah, and these really unorthodox opens are going to be very interesting when they get to 7. I thought we were going to have some issues at 5, but we've been coping all right. So looks like we're going to have to get to 7 until we get those really hard games, which I'm actually really looking forward to. I want a big challenge, and it's also in the name of the series, right? It should be a challenge. Okay, wow, this is probably one of the most peaceful openings I've ever had on this account. So just a bunch of joseki, and that's it. So still very casual. It's interesting that they played a high extension. This seems like a very uncomfortable shape here. Pulling back. Okay, yeah, pull back is actually a good move. You don't want to hane because then that would end up in goten. Okay, so I think pincer here, or is that bigger? I'll try to play a bit slower. I guess when Fox renders the stone, it's a little bit slow, so maybe it's harder to see where I played. So I'll definitely keep that in mind in the future. But it's actually hard because sometimes when you're playing, playing right away is like it's a way of showing your, what do you call it? Your determination, So it looks like we have a quick fight here. And I think pretty happy with just a very simple enclosure. White has to live in goten, and then I can just come back and attack this. Oh, maybe I should just hane. Yeah, hane is way better than cutting. I don't need to cut. So I think overall white is making a pretty bad shape, and which is preparing themselves for very bad follow-up after this. Now they're really not concerned about making this group alive, because after a few more moves, this group is gonna die. Yeah, now this group is dead, so they either have a very big plan here on the left, or they're just not really reading out the life and death here for this group. Actually, oh, I should have extended, right? Yeah. This move is actually a huge one. I should have extended before making that exchange. But I guess this is still fine. I pretty much killed this group. Blitzing away again, huh? Oh, I should have captured. Oh, that turned out to be a really bad idea. If I had captured, then I wouldn't have. I wouldn't have any issues. Oh, I'm playing like a 5 Dan. I'm playing like a Fox 5 Dan. Yeah. Whoa! What is it? What are they doing? Okay, that was a very bad idea. If White had connected here, I would be in big trouble. Yeah, I was pretty much playing on the same level as my opponent right then. I was also not really thinking that much, and that could have that could have ended way worse than it did. Yep. So I'm gonna come back here to attack the right side a little bit. I think I'm just gonna protect the bottom. Um, yeah. It's kind of hard to play slow in these situations. I realized this quite a while ago when I started the series. When my opponent plays really quickly and they clearly playing bad moves, um, it's really hard to keep the pace. So I've been struggling with that for quite a while. Yeah. So like in this situation, Black is winning by a lot. What is this? Like when a move really doesn't make sense, and so obviously doesn't make sense. It takes a lot of patience to pause and really think about it. And that's actually something that I'm not very good at, and probably something I need to work on because sometimes a move looks ridiculous, but is actually a pretty good one. And so in that case, I pay for that, right? I pay for not really thinking too much. Yeah, okay. So they're gonna try to make this group alive here. Okay, fine. I will let them make this group alive. So the thing is, fine. This is slightly uncomfortable shape because I want to tiger's mouth, but then there's gonna be a cut. So I think I just attach here. That's gonna be slightly better than living. Sorry, than tiger's mouth and making white alive. So at this in this situation, I get to get other forcing moves on the top. You can also block here in Sente. Yeah, so white's shape is pretty bad. I think I do I double Hane. I want to double Hane because extending this move is so big right now. It's not a big deal. I'm not really forced to make any territory here because black has pretty much more territory than white. Very definitively more territory than white. So look, like the bottom territory and the top right. All of white's groups are very, very small. So it's a relatively comfortable game at this point. It looks like they might try to threaten the ladder or something with the diagonal. Does the ladder doesn't work? Oh, there's an Atari? No, the Atari I can capture, so the Atari doesn't work. I was gonna protect anyway. Um, whoa. Very stubborn player. Oh, would they double Hane after they played a move over there? Okay, so that's a might be a good exchange, but all I need to do is make solid groups. So yeah, I don't really care much about any of these moves they can connect capture. All I need to do is just play solidly because Black has definitively just way more territory. Nothing special I need to do other than just make 2 space extensions and just defend the rest. I'm going to go over the mistake here at the end of this game because I think that's very interesting. This diagonal was really bad. It will probably be a contender for one of the worst moves I played in this series because that move really didn't make sense. Like, can't I? Let's just not let's just not give my opponent any hopes. Uh, okay, they're going for something. I do have to be a little bit careful here. I guess the simplest thing to do is just to connect. Because if I Atari, they can actually sacrifice 2 stones and try to cut off my stone on the left. Yeah, I think connecting would be the simplest. I can also Atari and no, that wouldn't work because white can escape and that would threaten the Hane. So yeah, the benefit of this is that if white connects, I can just play this move, and then if white Atari's out, white could capture the 3 stones and sacrifice the 4, which is not a big deal for me. Yeah, so similar to this one, it's not a big deal. It's actually a pretty bad result for white, actually, after sacrificing there's probably 8 points here to gain 10 points. Wow. White sacrificed 8 points to gain 10 points, and now it's my turn. So, a pretty bad result for white, I must say. I want to push and cut and take advantage of some weaknesses, but I feel like that's unnecessary. I don't want to do anything that looks a little bit complicated because black is winning by so much at this point. This is actually good because it threatens the push and cut now, and white has to pretty much jump. And then probably the bottom and the lower, yeah, I was gonna say the Hane is quite big. It's a reverse sente, at least 4 or 5 points. Yeah, that's a huge move actually. I feel like I'm playing a chicken game after like this fight on the right. Yeah, but you just do what you do to make the game simple, and that's what's important. So white didn't protect this push and cut, which is a big problem actually. It will be a very big endgame, at least. Because white has to connect back in Gote. Really? Okay, there's the peep here. Alright, fine. I'll just, just respond to all the moves. I really don't feel like thinking about the game anymore. Because we've reached that point where it... What's this? Probably it was time to fast forward a while ago. Yeah, I guess we didn't really say any interesting things. I'll probably end up fast forwarding this anyway. Alright, late is better than never. Let's fast forward and I'll see you at the end. Actually, my opponent pretty much resigned right at that move, so I end up not fast forwarding. Yep. So after the right side, the game was pretty much pointless. But white played a few very questionable moves. So right now, black has to capture and then try to connect under. But in the game, the reason why my diagonal was really bad is because white's Atari is always sente. Because I didn't capture, when white connects here, there's nothing black can do here. This double Atari is fake, because this is always sente, and white can just capture, right? It doesn't actually make any sense. So, if white connected, black still has to capture, and now white comes over here, and this exchange is very bad for black escaping on the bottom. That's why that's a really bad move. So I just wanted to clarify that. Alright, so let's take a look at what we get next. Alright. Number 3. Ooh. Orthodox. Back to the regular openings. It's really not working very well because every time I skip forward, it's like my opponent resigns right away. Okay, nice. So we've got, let's play one more game in this episode. We get 2, so we get Kobayashi. Now here's a challenge. Play the Kobayashi opening as white. Oh, it looks like my opponent is a double 4-5 player. I'm gonna still make a weak attempt at this. Let's see if my opponent approaches. Okay, so they didn't approach. I want to defend the top left though. I can respond, but I don't think I really need to. Okay, yep, I knew it. This is the one. So I think I could just kick and attack this instead. Yeah. So yeah, the really bad thing about this sort of trick open is that nobody will play. If your opponent doesn't play, it's just bad. You can't do anything about it. Which is the reason why I never really developed this trick. I was actually someone who's pretty into trick moves because I really liked reading them out and well, try and find ways to trick my opponents. Yeah, but this is one of the common tricks that I never really gotten into. Looks like I can just wedge this, right? Looks like my opponent's the one that's in trouble here. So this is kind of interesting. Can I just extend? and then just capture black. This is interesting. What? I was actually just about to click the extend, but my opponent resigned right away. Okay, well that was something. Looks like they don't like playing fights that they had a disadvantage of. Okay, well well a win is a win. Okay, well we'll play one more then. Finally, yes. Okay, what we're gonna do is we're gonna save that for the beginning of next episode, and then we're going to play a different account here to end up the episode. That is awesome, though. Ah, oh, yes, we finally got a 6 god. Yes, then I can finally do the redemption. Okay, we're back to the 3-5 at the moment. I need to stay calm. Stay calm. Alright, coming full circle on the 3-5 point, well, we have a chance to play the Taisha. Yes, we do. Looks like we will. Alright, here we go, here we go. Let's go with this one. I'm feeling this one. This is actually one of my personal favorite ones to play. I used to play this the most. I played the other extensions sometimes, but a lot more rarely. Mostly played this one. So if block extends, white can push and then double Hane on the left. So that's going to be my plan. And then now I get the Hane and double Hane. This is the power of reading. Once you've done so many trick moves that backfired on yourself, you start actually learning the reading, and that's pretty much what I did. Yeah. Then I got really familiar with these types of variations, which is interesting. We all have our own ways of learning, and my way was just failing pretty much. Yeah. So after this, black needs to Hane and then Atori in the middle first. If black doesn't Atori in the middle, then if black directly double Hanes, white can capture this stone, and that would not work for black. So the key move here for black is to cut on the 4th line here. And that's actually a move that's hard to find. And the reason for this is that after you cut, when you double Hane and start the ko, black has many local ko threats. So that's the main reason for that. Yeah, so that's the mistake. Black cannot play this way. So it's actually a good showcase of that, because normally you would be very reluctant to make that kind of exchange. But if black does, the ko is still pretty complicated, and I found a way for white to sacrifice, but not really that big. So that's something that I did quite a bit back then. Was to use these trick moves against people, and I think it was generally very good practice, and I think I definitely learned a lot about reading. It's not a genuine trick, as in like, there's one move that my opponent needs to play incorrect for it to work, right? So it's actually a very broad. It's literally a joseki. That's a trick, right? So in my defense, I'm not a trick player. I'm just reading a lot more than my opponent. So playing this way, black has no chance. Black will definitely die. especially if black connects. Connecting even got rid of the possibility of a ko, so that's not really bad. Oh, I should have a Tori on the outside, and I think I played that too quick, because if black jumps, then I can peep here. But because now black can extend and sacrifice is a lot better. So I gave up on a much clearer variation here. Oh, well then I can Tori. Yeah, I played this capture race quite a lot of times. I can actually block first as well. Yeah, I can also block first. Yeah, so here black is dead. It's not a seki, because after extending, white can Atari into the corner. It's a pretty weird one, but it's one that is quite common for this Taisha variation. So this is a monumental moment, because this is the first time when I got to showcase one of the most common, I guess one of my most happiest variations for Taisha throughout my early days of playing Go. So that's very interesting. Yeah, so basically the corner is dead. Now black. This group is still a little bit awkward. At least right now, black has 3 liberties, which means there are still quite a lot of aji in the center. But definitely this is very good for white. Yeah. I'm sorry you guys had to witness one of my most cruel tricks. So, it's such a big lead now, so we just have to play normally. Okay, so a pretty simple joseki in the lower right. I feel like most of my games, it's about taking an early lead and then just playing, I guess, playing very defensively. I guess it's sort of a style that I began to develop into, kind of throughout my amateur years. I've slowly developed into this style. So the benefit of having a stone is that when white attaches in hanes, black can't capture the corner because this stone is close enough to help. So keep in mind that when your opponent does invade like this, it's actually typically better to protect in the corner first. Yeah, because now, even if black can block, white can just live in the corner. So black's outside is very weak, and you see all these stones on the second line. They're not very efficient. And black has to spend another move pretty much, and I can just play a knight's move. Wait, can I just escape? What are you trying to do with that move? Yeah, I'm pretty sure I want this side. Yeah, I want this side. So there's a very subtle difference. I don't think it's worth explaining right now, and I probably can't without spending like 5-10 minutes. It has to do with like 1 or 2 points related to the one-step cone in the corner. So probably after hearing that, you don't want to know. Alright, so I'm going to push and cut in Atari first. So this is an asking move to see whether black wants to connect or capture. Black captures, then black loses the center control. If black connects, then white would be able to attach into the corner and gain extra points in the corner. Seems pretty uncomfortable for black, actually, because after white extends, the territory on the top is very small. And black is forced to connect, because if white separates, this group isn't alive. It's a very annoying shape. Oh. I was looking at this move earlier, and I saw that didn't work. Unless black pushed first, but if black does push first, I would probably end up sacrificing one of these two groups. This is definitely not a viable fight for black. Just double hunt it. If black keeps going, I think the group on the left is just going to die. None of these moves are going to do any good. They're all kind of helping white, and this tiger's mouth is just way too comfortable. Oh. I want to actually protect this, I think, because it threatens to just capture the big group. If a knight's move, this is 1,000% dead. Maybe not that much. 100% dead. So I can double Hane, and then what's the best way? I think I want to push out first. I'm pretty much already alive here. Black is continuing to make very bad shape. So black has to connect now. I don't even have to worry about the left group because this group seems to be about to get captured as well. Yeah, this is going to be... I think my mic fell off. I hope you still heard the last part of the commentary, all right? Now I don't even know which group to capture, because this group also seems dead. But then there's another capturing move over here. This upper left joseki, it's got to be the highlight of this episode. finally was able to do it. It'd be interesting to see whether or not this could happen again. And I'll try to go over this a little bit more systematically. But there's just so many things to talk about. there's a lot of variations with the Taisha, and there's a reason why the Taisha is known to be one of the most complicated joseki there is. So all they're left to do is deal with this. Okay, all right, they resign. Here we go. Yeah, so the left was interesting, but I think I want to focus on this bottom part. Really, you got to focus on what's important. Like right now, it's so important for black to play knight's move here. White can't attach under it because black can pawn and pull back. White has to diagonal. Then black can think about whether to separate or answer. Yeah, but jumping down really just gave white such an easy way to sabaki and deal with the rest. So that was a bit of a fighting direction mistake. But yeah, this is so interesting. And we don't have to roll an opening for the end of this episode because we're going to be back on 6.9. Just to show you my current standing. So right now I'm at 14-6. So I need to win 2 games because what Fox does is Fox drops the past games. So I tried to move it, but there's a bit of a delay with my Fox client. So you notice on the left hand side I have a loss there. And so that if I win the next game, the first win on the left is going to get eliminated, which means I would have to win another game, and then I would have 15 wins on the board. Then I would get promoted. So 2 wins in a row. Let's start with the first one in the next episode. Thank you so much for watching this episode. Hope you learned something and enjoyed watching me play. Feel free to subscribe and give it a like if you did enjoy. Also check out our membership videos as well as our Discord and Patreon. Thanks again for watching, and I will see you in the next video.